Yo, what's up guys? I hope you're all doing well. Steam Next Fest is currently out, which lets us try a bunch of games before they release. There are tons of demos available to try for free, and one game is getting constant praise and everybody is talking about it, and that game is Windrose. And I was ready to be this game's biggest critic, because when I hear early access survival crafting game, I just think slop. And I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong, because not only does Windrose do all of that normal survival crafting stuff, then it has the pirate side. You can build a ship, you can upgrade your ship, you can get crew to man the ship with you. You can go out onto the open seas and explore. You can find enemy ships and have naval battles with these big cannon fires. You can pull up next to them and board them and fight and go find islands and dig for treasure and everything you would expect in a pirate game. So in a complete change to the video I was planning to make, let's talk about why everyone is loving Windrose, and rightly so. So the game starts out, as you would expect, with a character creator, and it's probably slightly above average. There's quite a lot you can do. There's a pretty good aesthetic, and you can make some pretty cool looking pirates. The tattoos were my favorite part. You can pretty much tattoo every single part, like upper arm, lower arm, shoulder. You can kind of like tattoo everywhere to make your character look pretty rugged and fit the theme really well. And then you start out in a tutorial zone where you basically are on a ship being attacked by pirates, and the combat is the only way I can explain it is like Dark Souls-esque. Enemies have a parry bar, you have a parry bar, which is set by like these shields. You break their shields, they're staggered, they break yours, etc. And yeah, you've got like charges, dodges, rolls, all that sort of stuff that you would expect in a Souls-like combat. And it's clean, it's polished, and it feels. And then you shipwreck onto a beach, and that's kind of where the game starts. And you have like a quest chain that takes you through all of the basics, and it's pretty much what you expect from a crafting survival game. You know, it starts out, make a bonfire, and this will be your base, and there's like a big circle, and then you can build in that circle, and it's all going to be linked, and you get all the benefits of everything you build together, and that's kind of like your territory on the beach. And then, you know, craft an axe, craft a pickaxe, go and chop some trees, all that sort of stuff. Hunt the local wildlife, the boars, for leather, make your first piece of clothing, all that stuff. If you've played any game like this, you'll be familiar with this. One cool thing, and some cool things to talk about here are, firstly, when you discover a new item, you get a pop-up. So say you pick up so you defeat a mob and you get an item, it will pop up discoveries, and then it will show all of the things you can craft with that item, which is pretty cool. So say you defeat an animal, you might learn a new meal, or you find a new resource, you can make a new tool. Something like that pops up. That's kind of a nice little touch. Another thing that is really, really nice is there's like a window that shows all the discoveries for the island you are on. So all the resources on the island will be just question marks, and all the mobs will just be like question marks. And as you find them, you'll tick them off, and you'll have a completionist percent for the random island that you're on, which is really nice. And it like gives you that progression and makes you want to go explore, because maybe you're going to find something really rare there. And then you actually get into the base building, and you realize this game has all of the quality of life that all of the others should have. You know, you're trying to build, it will pull items from your chests. It will, like, if you place all your wood and cloth in a chest and then you go to a crafting table, it will just take from there, which is incredible. If you then go back to that chest to place something, there will be a place, put similar back in. So if there's wood in there and you've got wood in your inventory, you can just put it in as well, which is just, those sort of quality of life things make these games 100 times more fun to play. And then as you explore this initial island, things start to open up the further you go out. So there are like points of interest you can find on your map, and you'll find new things. There's a cave that has copper ore, and then you can take that back. You can learn how to smelt that into ingots. And like I say, you've heard it all before, but then as you progress more down certain routes, more of the game opens up. A person will arrive at your camp and say, you know, we're not alone, there's more people out there, and you'll then progress another quest log that involves finding a ship to rebuild and finding other pirates to help you. You'll also start to progress down the different skill trees. Every time you do something in game, you can get experience, and that can build out you can put stat points in, you can go into the skill tree and go into, you know, do you want to be fast? Do you want to be strong? Do you want to use pistols? Do you want to use muskets? Do you want to use like rapiers? Whatever you want to do, you can play how you want. So that's all really, really cool. And I would say that's where I expected the game to go. That's kind of where I expected the game to sort of like fall off and reach the point of the demo where I was like, yeah, it's a survival game, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good one. And I was happy. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. But then something happens. So I made a little boat and just started sailing around and exploring and found this note. And there was a note and it said, you know, we've hidden some treasure under a tree marked with a red ribbon. No quest icon, no thing telling you to go there. You just got to read it, use your brain and go, oh, there it is. So that was kind of cool. And then when you go with the shovel, you don't just click on the X marks the spot. You have a shovel that terraforms the land. You can build a hill, you can dig a ditch, and you can change how the water flows, and you can literally just dig around and look for the treasure, which was a really cool sense of freedom. And then you get on the boat and you go out into the sea, and not only does the game look beautiful for an indie early accessy like survival game, but you can go anywhere. You can go to any of these big islands and travel and explore and do these quests at your own pace. As you're going around, you can also find enemy ships, and again, do whatever you want. Do you want to run away from them as they're firing cannons at you? Do you want to try and escape? Or do you want to ride right to them and jump onto the ship and try and man the ship and take it for yourself? You can do whatever you want, which was really surprising. So we rode up to this ship, dodged all the cannon fire, pulled up to the side of it, jumped on, and like you can board the ship when you get near it, jumped on, and all the enemies are just inside, all the pirates are inside, and you can just fight them and try and, you know, take over. It's just so much fun. There's enemies like swinging swords at you. There's people firing the cannons, and you can just deal with that however you want. This wasn't a quest. This wasn't like a scripted event in the game. It was just a wild enemy ship, which makes me very, very excited for where they can go with this. Obviously, when you're just on a little rowboat, there's not much you can do but just ride up to it. But when you have your own ship and you can go out and you can start destroying these and having these naval fights, from what I've seen, I'm very impressed and very excited for where this can go. And then I played a little bit more from here, found another island, and there was like this big ship that was repairable, so you could go back, you could set up like fast travel from your island to that island, and then you could craft a bunch of stuff, come over and repair the ship to make it seaworthy, which was pretty cool. A bit more exploring, and found a pirate locked up in like a cage. So there's some enemy bandits, enemy pirates, and you could go fight the pirates, defeat them, and free this other guy and get him to join your crew. Another thing I noticed was as you beat these enemy pirates, they drop these like doubloons, and it was said these are tradable in this zone. So there's a lot more to the game than what you see here. And yeah, I pretty much stopped there, but I got the feeling of it goes from you build out the ship, you fill it full of pirates. It needs 7 pirates to man this big ship. So that was like the next big gameplay loop. But I think that's enough to talk about where this game goes. And I am extremely excited. I'm the first person to write these games off normally, because I feel like with the survival crafting genre, we've kind of seen it all before, and most people aren't doing that. Most games don't do much new, and when they do come out with these new ones, they're generally just so unpolished and unfinished that I find them not that enjoyable. But this one, from the moment I got on, all of the quality of life, all of the smoothness, all of like the high quality combat, the smooth crafting, gathering, how the quests progress, everything was just a delight. And there was no point in this entire, 3 or 4 hours I played it where I was thinking, I'm ready to just like take a break. It was just fun from start to finish. So I'll say, if you haven't tried the Windrose demo, go and give it a try. It's completely free. And if you're excited for this, or if you think this is something you'll like and you don't have time for the demo, wishlist it and check it when it has a full release, because there's no current release date. But this is definitely something that's now on my radar, and I can see why everybody praising this game and excited for it to come out. So yeah, that's Windrose. Really curious what you think. Have you tried it? What do you think from seeing this? But thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.